few minutes on the convention coming up for 2022. It's right here in the States, and I'm hoping that you have plans to join us. So if you haven't been to an international convention before, it's truly a spectacular experience. I do want to just take a quick poll, just a show of hands. How many of you have been to an international convention in the past? Okay. The international convention, every year there's sort of a landing page that's created for the convention. This is the landing page for 2022. I want to start by sharing this video with you that's been created to give you a quick overview.
We are excited to invite you to 2022 Rotary International Convention, Houston, Texas.
There are no limits to what can be discovered.
Our horizons are changing, but we remain resilient.
Because it's in our nature to break down barriers.
To explore the vast world of ideas, culture, and experiences.
The very things that give us new meaning to life.
So what better time than now to take action?
And push the boundaries of what's possible.
To join forces and do something that revitalizes the spirit.
Form connections that broaden our worldview. Share our passion for service with other leaders.
And become inspired to do great things along the way.
Let's take on new horizons and see what's possible.
Because our potential has no limits.
Discover new horizons at the 2022 Rotary International Convention in Houston, Texas.
Come, let's discover new horizons at the 2022 Rotary International Convention, Houston, Texas.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit of a glimpse of what's involved at the Rotary International Convention. That Rotary International landing page is what starts you on the journey for registration, but I want to give you a little bit of a perspective of what a convention is. When we talk about the convention and we talk about June 4th through 8th, we're talking about the main show. And the main show starts with an opening plenary session and ends with a closing session on Wednesday evening. Between that, every morning, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, there is a plenary session, or as it's called here, general sessions. The rest of the day is filled with breakout sessions that you might be interested in because of a fellowship, because of an interest, because of an avenue of service, or something that you're just really involved in. Maybe you're part of the yachting or flying fellowship. They have breakout sessions as well as the House of Friendship to bring you into how Rotarians around the world participate in that hobby. And of course, networking is a fantastic opportunity at an international convention. With 25,000 plus people from around the world, you're likely to find people with many of the same interests. And that search for those Rotarians is part of what makes a Rotary International Convention so fun. I bring this up that the Sunday through Wednesday that you're there is really an action-packed, fun, but exhausting period of time. So realize that you're doing a lot of activities, you're learning a lot, but it is an opportunity for you to truly be inspired by Rotary. I mention this because that's the reason why so many clubs in our district, in our zone, and around the world provide a stipend to their president-elect to attend an international convention. This year being in Houston, it's a little bit less expensive than Rotary International conventions in other parts of the world. Some clubs will pay a stipend for everything. Some will pay a stipend based on where it's located. Some may even provide a stipend for a partner or spouse to attend with you. If you have questions about that, certainly let me know. And I encourage you to talk to your club if you haven't already. If you happen to be a president-elect or a future leader of your club, thinking about taking that step to be a president-elect, the International Convention is clearly something not to be missed. So it's very timely today, December 14th, that we're having this call. And so tomorrow is the last day for the lower reduced registration fee for the International Convention. So you'll see through the end of the day tomorrow, which is 10 p.m. Pacific time or midnight Central time, where Rotary International is headquartered, the club member 31 and over is $475. If you wait until the next morning, just past December 16th, the price goes up $100. So I would encourage you, go to the convention website and register, convention.rotary.org or riconvention.org. So beyond the actual convention itself, which is that opening session to closing session that is produced by Rotary International, there's a number of events. One of the groups that puts on those events is called the Host Organizing Committee. And these are some of the events that they're putting on before the International Convention. So on Friday, June 3rd, you have a choice of going to rugby, to soccer, or the Lone Star Flight Museum. On the Saturday, immediately before the start of the convention, there's the boardwalk, which is out on the Houston coast, as well as the Discovery Green Welcome event, which is a dinner event on Saturday night. Some of you that are interested, there are 3 pre-plenary sessions that are scheduled on Friday and Saturday. If you are interested in attending one of those, there may be conflicts with these host organizing committee events. I encourage you to look at that specific with the calendar for the pre-conventions. Then for the rest of the week, Monday night, a tour of the Space Center along with Magic of the Bayou. On Tuesday evening is their host hospitality night. It's an opportunity for Rotarians that live local to the convention to host usually a group of 6 to 8 Rotarians for dinner that night. It's a great way to meet some local Rotarians. Rotary Night at the museum, both at the Holocaust Museum and the Natural Science Museum, is on Tuesday. There's a tour of the Galleria, which is, Texas is big, but the Galleria is just as big. A shopping event with, thousands of Rotarians on Thursday, June 9th. And then an opportunity for you to asynchronously participate in a service project called the Footprint Service Project to reduce Rotary International's carbon footprint at the convention. The Footprint app gives you the ability to record hours and work that you do while in Houston. Those are host organizing committee events, but there's sort of all sorts of things. So what I would encourage you to do at this point, first register for the convention. Get your registration in and then look for your hotel. Rotary International, when you complete your registration, will take you right to the reservation site for your hotel if you wish to book through the convention center or through the Convention and Visitors Bureau hotel block. Hotel rooms are still available. Third, look at host organizing events that you may be interested in. But then realize that's not the end of it. These are sort of the three that are the bigger types of events. There's also district fellowship and reunions. I'll get into those in a minute, but the important piece here is that if you are interested in participating in the Rotary International Convention, there's gonna be on the very first page where you put in your own personal information, there's gonna be a box, and it's gonna say to share your personal information. You wanna be sure that you share your information because that's gonna let the district and other event organizers reach out to you with information about those events. So we already have 9 people in our district that have registered for the convention, but have chosen not to share their information. So they don't get information such as this presentation or invitations to events and activities that happen during the convention. So very important when you register, make sure that you do not check that box to not share your information. Next, there are club, district, and zone events, as well as fellowships and reunions, some to keep an eye out for. There's going to be a district dinner on Sunday, June 3rd. The specific hours for that dinner is going to depend on when the opening session schedule is on June 3rd. So if they're able to get everyone in one opening session in the afternoon, it'll make it easy. If it is 2 opening sessions, we will plan the district dinner so that people, regardless of which session you're assigned to, will be able to participate in that district dinner. So keep June 3rd on hold. The second that I'll just give you a teaser for is the Big West Breakfast on Tuesday, June 7th. This is going to be before the plenary session, currently scheduled for 7 a.m. So registration for that will be coming up in June. Last but not least, our blast off party, which will be in April in South San Francisco. Everyone who is registered from our district who agrees to share their information will be invited to this party. It'll be an opportunity for us to get together to set up some rendezvous and cocktail party opportunities while we're together at the convention. We'll have registration for the district dinner. We'll be able to answer questions. There's going to be some people that may be interested in sharing a room or traveling together. All those kinds of things we'll try to put together either before or after that blast off party to make it as fun and exciting for people to be able to join. So that,
can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I heard from Ed Mullen, and there may be a white hat gathering. So for members in this district that are members of the White Hat Society, there may be a cocktail time or something, but I'll keep you posted.
Perfect. And for those of you not familiar, the White Hat Society is a society of givers to the Rotary Foundation that have given $5,000 or more to the foundation in one particular year and have agreed to ask a colleague, a friend, a fellow Rotarian to join them in that level of contribution to the Rotary Foundation. So if you're not familiar with the White Hat Society, it's just one of the events that you will see while you're in at the conventions. You'll also find just foundation related major donor, bequest, just a number of events associated with your interests in Rotary that you would be able to participate in. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a
for COVID situation.
Yeah, excellent. So far we're a bit out from being able to have many specifics, but we would at least assume that a vaccine will be required for all of the participants at the convention. It may be also a condition of visas or entry into the United States for international visitors. So remember that when Rotary sets policies for the International Convention, they're looking very conservatively at what Rotarians from 160 countries and territories are able to accomplish to keep everybody safe. So it's not just us, it's keeping everybody that's traveling, everybody that's participating, safe during their experience and on their travels to and from the convention. So realize there's probably the requirements for COVID will get more and more specific as we get closer, but do realize that it is there to protect Rotarians from around the world.
So Eric, with that in mind, what's the cancellation policy?
So the cancellation policy is a full refund less a processing fee of $50. And I believe it's through May 1. And I just had it on the screen here. Through April 1. So between now and April, you can get a full refund versus the $50 refund fee. And realize that if you're booking now, you're saving $200 off the fee. So if you think that you're going, I would encourage you to book now, save the $200 with the December 15th price decrease. If you do end up going, or if you do end up canceling, you will lose that refund fee. But as long if you're considering and you're thinking that you're going to go, I would encourage you to save the $150 versus on the idea that you will be going to the convention. Any other questions?
So Eric, where's the district dinner?
The district dinner is going to be hopefully at a smokehouse that is right next to the Astros Stadium, about a 3.5 block walk from the convention center. So I am still waiting. The Astros are not in town when we're there. And so they're unsure if they want to open up for just one evening while they're on an away stand, knowing that they're likely not going to have other business. But I'm trying to convince them that with 25,000 Rotarians 3 blocks away, it's generally a good idea for them to be open.
And what's the current registration right now on our district?
For our district, we're at 49. So generally when we go to an international convention, we tend to be somewhere in the 130, 140, 150 range. So we still have a bit to go, but it would be advantageous for people to sign up now because of the discount. Let me talk a little bit more. And this is specific to the president-elect nominees of your club. If you haven't had the conversation about what your club may do as far as a stipend or support for you to attend the international convention, I would encourage you to have that conversation sooner rather than later. There's truly not, I'm preaching to the choir with so many of you that have been to international conventions. I think this is my 18th or 19th international convention. So I drank the Kool-Aid a long time ago. Angela Capozzi can tell you that I'm hopeless at this point. But it's an opportunity for you to learn more about Rotary and the work and the fantastic achievements that Rotarians around the world are making on behalf of our organization. I mean, there's no other opportunity, whether you say, you know, president-elect training or a district conference, there's nothing that's going to be the internationality of an international convention. And so I can't say in the strongest terms, you know, the advantages that you would get out of joining and participating in this type of at an international convention, especially when you can do it, you know, after, you know, a 3.5-hour plane ride away.
That's so true, Eric. Rotoplas wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for international conventions. We've made tremendous friends through the international conventions and maintain those friends today. And we visit many other countries.
Yeah. I mean, I'll end up spending, well, the family will end up spending, I think, 11 days in Houston, just because of all the people and friends that we've made around the world that will come. And it's an opportunity for us before and after the convention to catch up with them, connect with them in ways that, you know, the Christmas card barrage doesn't quite let you get the connection with people that you get when you can be face to face, and especially since, you know, we haven't been able to do this face to face the last 2 years. So it's an opportunity, truly great opportunity for me and the family to go. And we do bring Molly and Katie. So if you don't know, Molly's our 6-year-old, Katie's our 4-year-old. They come with us to the international convention, and you know, they think it's their convention, but, you know, as long as nobody tells them otherwise, we're all good. Any other questions?
Eric, what's the head count so far internationally?
So last that I heard, we were about 12,700. But I haven't heard for a week and a half or 2 weeks, something like that.
What do they expect the attendance to be?
Around 25,000.
That's pretty good considering what's going on in the world.
Yep.
Yeah. And, you know, I suspect those numbers are going to change dramatically, you know, when we get closer. Many times we would see registration for a convention be considerably higher in the beginning. But you know, I suspect there are people that are holding out and just haven't made that commitment yet, that decision either mentally or financially to go to the international convention. Deirdre.
Eric, when do you anticipate we'll have that April date? Because spring break is going to be around then too, and I'm just curious.
Pretty close. I may actually already have it. I just wasn't positive before I put it in the list. So let me run that by Gary and make sure that I'm right. I just didn't want to put it in if it was wrong.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Last but not least, thanks everyone. Oh, Laura.
Thanks. I was just curious for the folks that checked the box not to share information, they may have accidentally done that or not realized the ramifications of it. Will they be getting some sort of email just saying, hey, did you mean to do that?
No, unfortunately, once you check the box, you're toast. No, I'm just kidding. So if you checked the box, what you have to do is you have to go back to your registration and do edit. On the very first screen, when you do edit, just uncheck the box and save. And, you know, in a matter of a week or so, you'll be back on the list for people to be able to invite you and share information with you about the international convention. Realize that if you opt out of sharing that information, Rotary is not selling the information. They're just giving it to the district and to event organizers that are putting things together. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I'm good on this, but I'm just curious for people who might have done it at the time and just didn't think about it after, will someone be emailing them to contact them to say, hey, by the way, you check that box?
No, unfortunately, once you check that box, you get you don't get any other information.
Is there a list of those people?
Well,
I'm just worried about, like, maybe there's someone that I know or is in the club that they don't realize, and I don't know who they are to reach out to them, or in any of the clubs to share this.
So to give you a sense, in my club tends to have 8, 10, 12 people that will go to the international convention. One of our people, which was a professor at University of San Francisco, went to Thailand, participated in the convention, did not see any other people from the district, did not sign up for any of the district events. We saw him on the airport going home, and he was like, where were you guys all week?
Mm-hmm.
He opted out of sharing his information. He assumed people knew that he was going. His wife was in Asia for another conference at the time. He basically spent the entire week without an invitation to the district dinner, without any other information. So the biggest way for us to find out is that, someone will reach out to the district, or someone will reach out to someone else in the club and be like, how come I haven't heard anything about the convention? I registered 4 months ago. That's usually the clue that lets us believe that, they have checked that box to not share your information. Because literally it's radio silence once you do that.
All Eric gets is the number of people that have checked that box. There's no names attached to it, to answer your question.
Okay.
And so he doesn't know the 9. And it's, it's up to their friends, are you going? Are you going? Are you going? And if they haven't received something, then to give them a clue as to what's going on and stuff. But it can be a problem. We've had people where they didn't have a really good convention experience because they had checked that box. So, ask your friends, are you going? Did you get the emails and stuff like that?
Yeah. And this is also a great opportunity. If the president this year hadn't participated in an international convention, maybe the president and the president-elect go this year, because it'll be a little bit less expensive than future conventions. It's a buddy system. It's an opportunity for several people to go from your club, because we've had a great representation from the Rotary Club of San Francisco for a number of years.